Have you ever walked away from a conversation wondering whether the other person genuinely enjoyed talking to you, or whether they were simply being polite and waiting for it to end? Interest is rarely announced directly, because most people do not say, "I like talking to you," in clear and obvious words. Instead, real interest reveals itself in subtle behavioral patterns that most people overlook. Psychologists who study communication focus on micro-behaviors, small shifts in attention, posture, tone, and effort, because these signals often reveal more than spoken words ever could. In this video, we're breaking down the proven signs that someone is genuinely interested in talking to you, not just tolerating the interaction. Sign 1, they invest attention, not just time. The first and most powerful indicator of real interest is not how long someone talks to you, but how they distribute their attention while doing so. Imagine our character sitting at a cafe, sharing a story, while the other person keeps checking their phone every few seconds. Even if that conversation lasts 20 minutes, divided attention signals divided investment. Research on attentional engagement shows that when someone is genuinely interested, their cognitive resources narrow toward the person speaking. Their eyes stabilize instead of scanning the room, background distractions fade, and their phone becomes secondary. Focused attention is one of the clearest signs of emotional presence. Genuine interest feels concentrated, not fragmented. Sign 2, they ask follow-up questions. Surface-level politeness sounds like short reactions. That's cool, nice, or oh really? But when someone is truly interested, they build on what you just said. If you mention you started learning guitar, an interested person might ask what inspired you, what kind of music you enjoy, or whether you've performed for anyone yet. Follow-up questions require mental processing, which signals cognitive engagement. Curiosity is strongly linked to attraction and social bonding in psychological research. When someone is curious about you, they are investing effort to understand you, and effort is rarely spent where there is no interest. Sign 3, their body language opens up. The body often reveals what words attempt to hide. When someone is engaged, their torso angles toward you rather than away. Their arms remain relaxed instead of tightly crossed, and they may lean slightly forward during moments of interest. Open posture signals psychological availability. Closed posture, especially combined with scanning the environment or shifting weight away from you, often signals disengagement. Our bodies instinctively orient toward what we value, and they subtly withdraw from what we do not. Sign 4. They mirror you naturally. One of the most fascinating indicators of connection is unconscious mirroring. When two people feel aligned, their gestures, tone, and rhythm begin to synchronize without conscious effort. If you slow your speech and they follow, or if you lean back and they subtly mirror the movement moments later, that alignment reflects rapport. Mirror neuron research suggests this synchronization plays a role in bonding and empathy. Mirroring does not mean copying exaggerately, but small behavioral echoes often indicate comfort and interest. People unconsciously match what they feel connected to. Sign 5, they remember small details. Interest becomes clearer over time through memory. If someone recalls something you mentioned days or weeks ago, it means your words were prioritized. For example, if you casually mentioned an upcoming exam, and they later ask how it went, that signals emotional tracking. Memory retention is selective. We remember what we assign importance to. When someone remembers details about your life, it suggests you matter within their mental landscape. Sign 6. Their responses have depth. There is a noticeable difference between reactive responses and reflective responses. Reactive responses are brief and automatic. Reflective responses add thought, perspective, or personal connection. If you share something vulnerable, like feeling overwhelmed, and they respond with a thoughtful reflection or a related experience, they are investing emotionally. Depth requires effort, and effort reveals value. Flat, repetitive responses often signal low investment. Sign 7. They extend the interaction. Another reliable sign of interest is when someone extends the conversation rather than letting it fade naturally. Instead of allowing silence to end the exchange, they introduce a new topic or expand on the existing one. In digital conversations, this might look like sending an additional message after the main topic seems finished. In person, it might appear as lingering instead of rushing away. People do not prolong interactions they wish to escape. When someone stretches a time with you, it often reflects genuine engagement. Sign 8. Their energy shifts around you. Energy changes are powerful indicators of motivation. When someone is interested, their voice may become slightly more animated, their facial expressions more expressive, and their reactions more dynamic. Interest activates reward systems in the brain, subtly increasing enthusiasm. You may notice quicker replies, sustained eye contact, or visible excitement. Low interest, by contrast, often feels monotone, flat, and distracted. Energy tends to rise around what we enjoy. Sign 9. They initiate contact. Initiation is one of the clearest behavioral investments. If someone consistently waits for you to start every interaction, their involvement may be passive. However, when they message first, suggest meeting up, or reconnect after time apart, that signals proactive effort. Effort is a behavioral currency, and people spend it where they perceive value. Initiation reflects intention. Sign 10. They create future continuity. A subtle but powerful sign of interest is when someone references future interaction. Statements like, "Next time we should," or "You have to show me that sometime," imply continuation. Future-oriented language suggests the person imagines you remaining part of their world. It reflects anticipation rather than obligation. When someone sees you in their future, even casually, that projection carries meaning. It is important to remember that no single behavior guarantees interest in isolation. Context, personality traits, and cultural differences influence communication styles. Some individuals express interest quietly through consistency rather than enthusiasm. The key is observing patterns rather than isolated moments. Genuine interest feels reciprocal and balanced over time. Forced interaction feels draining and asymmetrical. If you consistently feel like you are carrying the entire conversation, that imbalance is meaningful information. Interest is not hidden as deeply as we think. It leaks through attention, memory, effort, energy, and intention. And when someone values you, that value becomes visible in their behavior. Learning to recognize these signs is not about overanalyzing every conversation. It is about protecting your time, your emotional energy, and your self-respect. Because the right people will not make you question whether they want to talk to you. Their interest will feel clear, steady, and mutual. And once you understand that difference, you stop chasing conversations that were never meant to continue.